go to the Tools panel of Affinity Designer and select the diamond tool or any of the other shapes and quickly create a shape like that. Now you can see it's filled with currently with a gradient, and you can reposition it of course anywhere, and you can of course fill the entire screen if you want to do that as well. That's perfectly reasonable. However, click on the fill and you can see, as always, I'm just covering over there, it's elliptical. I think elliptical is quite a good one, but you can also change the stop. You can see as you change out the blues there, you can change those and so on and so on. Go to the gradient tool and you can manipulate the design. However, what you can also do is you can go with the layers, and if I just drag this up the top so you can see it, effects, you can click there, effects, or you can go to the layer menu and layer effects. That's another option. I'm just going to go with that one. Now with that, what you can do, you've got a whole range of different options. You can go for Gaussian Blur. I think Gaussian Blur is always great. So you can blur, which is nice in Affinity Designer, having something slightly blurred, I think. But also what you can do, you can go for 3D. So you create a nice sort of 3D effect, vary it, got profiles, whole range of different things. Remove profile if you want. Also, key thing, gradient overlay. And you can just put that over. Now, you think, oh, great, I've lost my gradient. Well, you've got blend modes, of course. Blend mode up here, or blending modes, I always call blending modes, but it's, what you can do, go down to divide. And that's my favourite one of the blends. Just great, because you get these lovely, now, in many ways, it'd be lovely if you could sort of have more slightly blurriness to these things. You can see a slight bit of coarseness to them, which is always a slight pity. But however, what you do, you can change this, the scale X, and you can see as you do that, you can see it move around there. Now I've got it linear. I can go for elliptical as well. And you can see I can then move that, and you can see as I move that X, or I can move Y and make it scale out that way. You can create a vast number of colourful designs. Also, you can move the offset, so you can reposition it. And as you do that, you can see it changes quite rapidly there. Also, you can change the angle. So as you change it, you can hold down the Alt Option key, and you can then rotate it. Quite sort of weird wobbly shape, doesn't it? Most odd. Right. Also, you can do the Y as well, of course, and you move that up and down. However, you've still got this live. You've still got this feature here, the gradient. Just go to the gradient tool, and you can move it. You can reposition that. You can also go up here, and you can click on there and just say, might even let me add one. Yep, there it is. Sometimes when you click on these things, it doesn't work. It just seems to ignore. You've got to persist, I think, sometimes. Just click on it and then go on there and again, just change it. But I do know sometimes you just click on it. Nope, not going to respond. And you can see the result of that. But also, you notice if I go back here to the gradient, and this is in the layer effects pane, it's still open, still live. I can just click on there and you can see now I've got these. I've got black and white here. I would love it if they added a feature where you could have scroll through all the gradients you've got. It's only about 5 or 6 anyway. It'd be nice if you could actually access them very quickly. Please put in the comments below if someone says, yes, you can. But you can also change that. So you can see now I've got red there. Again, double click and just bring up another colour, blue. You know, or a copy gradient. That would be nice as well. So you could copy that gradient there into here. That'd be cool. There's a copy, but all that does is copies the current stop and puts it along, which is nice actually. It's quite handy, but not what I want. And you can see you can change that. And you can change all these things, and you can still modify this. You can go for different settings here, and you can still continue to rotate the design. And once you're happy with everything, click close, and it's still live. So you can go here to the gradient, you can still move it around, you can reposition it, etc. You can also click on the effects or go to the layer menu, click there and bring it up again, and then tweak it a bit more. However, once you've done this, you've got your design, you've got a real colourful design here. What you can do, I'm just going to resize it, and you can see, obviously I can rotate it, make it more like a stand. However, you can of course just drag it out like that. Now, if this was in Affinity Photo, I would actually use this as a pattern layer. Now, you can, of course, use it as a pattern layer. Pattern layers are not in here, but you can always go to File and Edit in Photo if you've got Affinity Photo. So you could use it there. But an alternative is always that you can always just hold down the Alt Option key. Hold down the Alt Option key and duplicate the design. So you can see now you get 2 copies, or another copy, 3 or 4 copies. And you can create a whole load of copies. And also, you've got the Layers panel over here. With the Layers panel, of course, what you got, you can see them all. It says diamond, because of course it's still a diamond. You can still modify it. You can still change the midpoint. You can turn around and say, just tweak that. You can see it just changes the shape again. But you can also go over here to blending modes, and you can blend this. So maybe go for that for divide as well. Maybe resize that one, maybe not. But you can see you can actually some really weird clashing, and if that's what you want, a weird clashing colourful design like that, then, well, that's what it is. You've got a weird. But what of course you can do, as mentioned, you can always go to File and Edit in Photo, because then you can use this maybe with the deform, mirror effect, and so on. Create all wonderful, weird, wonderful. Or just, if you're not happy with that, just delete it. Because sometimes that is gone a bit too far, even for me. But you can see you can create a whole range of different designs. And like that. Hope you found this of interest. Thank you much.